Hey guys, how's it going? Here today in my conservatory, and the weather outside is dreadful. It is raining and cold. There's jobs I want to do on the allotment, but I can't get out there today. I've no intention. I've got stuff I need to do at home. I've got a lot of videos I want to edit, but I just want to show you something which is truly amazing to me anyway, hopefully to you. Now last year I had some out of date broad bean packets which I sowed. The germination was terrible. Maybe 1 out of 10 beans actually grew, and I kept trying different packets, same result more or less. So those empty packets, there was 3 full packets, I put them in a box in the shed at the allotment, just forgot about them. So that was last year. It might have even been the year before. Those open packets of broad bean seeds have just been in that box for 2 years. They were already 2 years out of date, so that's 4-year-old out of date seed thrown in a box in the shed and left. Now when I put my new shed up recently, I found those broad beans and I was going to throw them, and I thought I'm going to use these to show you something which just proves why you need healthy soil, okay, and just what microbes do in healthy soil. This is why it's so important to not dig your soil, to put in cover crops ideally, and or to put compost on your soil. You don't need to do all of them. Cover cropping is a way of composting soil, but just look at this. I still have some bagged compost, which is I regard as the best compost you can put seedlings into. It's a professional grade bagged peat-based compost. I'm not going to say any names because it is really good compost. So I sowed 2 trays of that seedling mix and 1 tray of my seedling mix, and I'm going to show you the results, and I want you to try and guess which tray has got my seedling mix in. And I'm going to explain why this has happened. Do you want to guess which seedling mixture is the best one out of these? There's my 2 trays of commercial peat-based seedling mixture, and there is my seedling mixture. You can see all the little bits of leaf mould, the bits of wood chip in here. The seed I think that hasn't germinated is this one, which is probably rotted. Yeah, I think that one is rotted. Yes, it has. I'll get that out, because this, I didn't think any of this seed was viable. Yeah, that's a rotted one. So probably dead seed, simply rotted away. But let's leave that in there because the microbes are eating that. That's it. Oh yeah, that's it. You'll also notice little natural seedlings growing in here. So they're weed seeds, because this seedling compost is not sterile. There's little seeds coming up everywhere. That I think that is a mustard seed there, because this compost was made from the wood chippings next to the mustard bed. But this is the commercial mix. We've got one there that's rotted. Another there that's rotted. Ah, we've got one. We've got a germinator there, look. So there's one. So not only are these beans, and I promise you guys, this is as you see it. I have not given this tray any special treatment, different seed. This is the same seeds. I think I had 28 seeds. Not had more than 28 because I put 2 in some of these. That's why this one's in a corner, this one's in a corner, because these were my seeds were the smallest ones, and I put 1 in each corner, and they were the most shriveled up. Not all. I put some were the same seed as these. That's these growing in the center. That's a corner seed, center seed. That one's rotted, center seed, corner seed. Exactly the same seed, sowed exactly the same time, given exactly the same treatment. The only thing different here is the compost. That is a commercial peat-based, beautiful compost, I think. And this is my homemade seedling compost. How has this happened? Why has this happened? I don't know. This is the magic of soil life. But I'll tell you what I think has happened. Because this compost is so enriched with microbes from the leaf mould and from the wood chip in the paths, it's got my microbial life in this potting mix. It's still there. It wants food, it wants to live. So as soon as these beans went in, totally dried out beans, as soon as they went in, those microbes started attaching themselves to that bean because they knew this is where our food's going to come from. Those microbes went through the shell of that bean into the inside, and they activated that bean, giving it the message that we're here for you, let's get growing. As soon as these beans put out that little tip of the root, which I think will be that, the microbes went into that root. Microbes can do this. Soil bacteria can get into the root through the tip of the root. There's a little appendage right on the tip of the root of all plants that microbes are able to enter. So the microbes and bacteria, they move into that root and they get inside the bean, and they communicate with the bean, and they start bringing things into that bean that the bean needs to grow. It's this symbiotic relationship thing again that's going on. You might be interested to know that these same microbes, bacteria and fungus, they live in, as well as living in the soil, a percentage of them live inside the living plant. They are in the stems, they are in the leaves, they move up into the flowers, and eventually they live inside that seed. And you hear people say, oh, save your own seed because it's better. This is why your own seed is better. The microbes live into that, move into that seed, and can stay dormant as we save that seed. So the microbes are dormant within that seed, and they are just waiting to wake up when the conditions are right for them to grow. As soon as that seed is ready to grow, and the moisture comes in and more soil microbes attached to that bean, the ones inside wake up. Those seeds have already got a genetic marker. So those seeds are genetically programmed to grow in this soil because this is the soil that it grew in. This is the microbe colony that formed around it. These are the local conditions. That seed has got the best possible chance it has of growing. It's also able to make connections better and faster with the soil microbes. This isn't my seed. If I had put my saved seed in from last year, I would have had 100% germination in here, and I think these bean plants, these bean seeds, will be even bigger. But you can see that, what have I done with that one little seed, guys? Where is it? Did I put it back? I don't know. But yeah, you see the size. So it's not just about the beans. These aren't my bean seeds. These are commercial seeds that were bought and in a packet. But you can see the advancement of this seed compared to how these beans have advanced and how well these are growing compared to that one. This one is so retarded as compared to mine. Charles Dowding did a video. I watched it maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. Go and check Charles Dowding out. He's a really knowledgeable guy. And he said that because he has trial beds, so he has dig beds and no dig beds right next to each other. He's been running this trial for many years, and he grows the same things in the same 2 beds so he can compare growth. And Charles said in that video that when he planted whatever he had planted in that bed, I can't remember what it was, let's just say leeks. The leeks he planted in the dug ground were much slower to grow. The leeks in his no dig ground, they got up and they really started growing so much better than the dug leeks. But he said later on in the season, the dug leeks just started to catch up, and all that is that the soil microbiome that had been disturbed, that had been broken up and killed, that whole network of microbiome in the soil, which is interlinked and it runs right throughout your soil if you don't dig it. That network took time to re-establish in his soil, so it took time to grow back together, to mesh together, and the plant was then able to tap into that resource and start growing. This is why you shouldn't dig your soil, guys. I can't emphasize it enough. And if that doesn't tell you the benefits of your own microbes in your soil for growing food, nothing will. I'm going to put that bean back in there. So let's give him his best chance and put his shoot down. I'm just going to put that one bean back in there. There's nothing else going to grow in that. So that's 1 out of 20. And we have one there. See? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we've got 9 there out of 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We've got 9 out of 14 that grew. We have got 1 out of 20 that grew. Hopefully that proves to you guys that this potting mix, seedling mix, is just so much better, as I said in the video, than anything you can buy. Because even with bought seed, it's still, that life in there wants that bean to grow, and it will do everything it can to help it. That soil life is dependent on that bean. Without that bean, all the life in this soil just slowly dies. Right guys, I hope you found that interesting. I'll be back with another video very soon. I'm going to explain a lot more about soil life. I'm going to put it into a context that we can all understand. It's not too technical, and it will hopefully convince you how this system is just beautiful, working with nature. And people like to call it sustainable growing, or sustainable way of growing. I'd prefer to call it a regenerative way of growing. So I'm not sustaining the soil at its current state. I'm regenerating the soil. I'm making the soil better all the time. That's what permaculture is all about. No dig, no till, whatever you want to call it. Minimal soil disturbance. Farm the life in the soil. Don't worry about your plants. The soil looks after your plants. You need to form a symbiotic relationship with your soil. Your soil is giving you what you need. Also, it's giving the plants what they need. I can only show the horse to water, I can't make it drink. Come on guys, get with it. Right, so I'm in here today. Like I say, the weather's lousy. I'm going to set my big table up in here. This is where I germinate a lot of my seedlings. It's just a conservatory on the end of the house, but it's so much better than the polytunnel, which is probably running around 6 degrees at the moment. Just room temperature in here. It's all most of my seedlings need to germinate this time of year. So I'm setting my big 6-foot table up. I'm about to bring the compost from the allotments, my seedling compost. I'm going to get my table set up. I'm going to start sowing seeds, and I'm going to do another video probably this week. Just show you what I'm sowing at the moment. All right. Thanks for watching. Thanks to my new subscribers, and I will catch you quite soon. Bye for now.